And that's the thing that I saw after that game. After that game, I really saw, I think San Antonio could probably gentleman sweep the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Probably. They're
Don't,
sweeping
sorry.
OKC.
That's enough.
4-0. They're sweeping OKC.
I gave you some chances to not say 4-0. Cue the intro.
Come on at 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GetBack Podcast. I'm your host, Damian Dusten, here with
Ayden Jones. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
and welcome to episode 39 of the GetBack Podcast.
There's a couple places we can go with this one.
There is
Dwight Howard,
Jeremy Grant. I was
He's
gonna say
hooping.
Jeremy
He's
Grant,
hooping right now.
But that's 76ers Jeremy Grant. That's throwback Jeremy Grant.
76ers Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard won a championship ring with 39.
Yeah.
Dwight's
Hall of Famer. Dwight's Hall of Famer.
We'll get into that ball later.
We'll get into that ball
Can we
later.
start off with football?
I think we have to.
I
We
don't
have
even
no
know
choice.
I don't know where you want to start because we got some things that happened before. We got something that's upcoming. Where do you want to start off with this?
I think it's only fair that we start with the playoff picture. I think we
Okay.
obviously saw some teams get, we're starting to see most of the teams get eliminated by this point in time.
Right.
And we really just are fighting for seeding at this point.
Yeah.
But man, I'll tell you what, there were some big games last week that I feel like had some big implications. I want to start off in the AFC because I feel like we always start off in the
Okay.
AFC, so we should
Okay.
give it some love. The Jacksonville Jaguars now have a path to the number 1 seed.
They did what we said somewhat last week. That we knew that they had a chance. We just didn't know that they were going to come out mile high like that. That's all. Trevor Lawrence, he came out, he had a good
Absolutely.
game. The whole Jaguars team had a good game, and now, obviously, like you said, they are on the road to a very nice chance to clinch.
And they've already clinched the playoffs, but for a chance at the number 1 seed,
Right.
I believe it's a Denver loss, which they play the Chargers, which is going to be an important
It's
game,
a
especially if they
possibility.
win today. We'll talk about that a little later, but New England has to win out as well. And we know New England is sometimes, I don't want to say fluky because they've been good all season, but they do have a tendency to sometimes sell the ball.
In big games against big defenses, they have a tendency to not be able to move that ball. like you said.
Exactly. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight for the 1 seed. In the AFC, now, because I remember we both said Denver, we somewhat leaned on the Bills still. Who is the most dangerous team in this AFC?
In the AFC, most dangerous, I will possibly be looking at the Patriots right now. After only seeing how they came back in that fourth quarter, I know it looked a little bit rocky at first, but the way that they came back and actually was able to score, I think, what was it, 11, 13 points straight in about 8 minutes, that was dominant. That was the Patriots team that I saw whoop the Bills in that first game. That was the Patriots team that I saw build up this record. So I would they still can't be the most dangerous. I would lean more to the Broncos. I think I just have to see more from their team. That's all.
I totally get that. I'm gonna say a team that hasn't even clinched a playoff spot yet. I think the
Wow.
Texans.
Wow.
I think the Texans sitting at 10-5. That defense, obviously, in my opinion, is the best in the NFL. Probably maybe just behind the Seahawks.
I mean, 7-game win streak. Only lost by more than basically 3 points one time, and that was against Seattle.
And CJ Stroud is definitely starting to become a little more consistent, and I like that.
I think
like that we're
he
seeing
had,
that
he had
from
to
him.
see Mills just do it. That's all. I think he had to get that fire back into him. He got to rest a little bit, and now he is back, and they're looking good. They're looking good.
He did, and the offense just kind of looks more in sync. Obviously,
It does.
they've struggled with a lot of injuries and whatnot, but
It's that defense too. When your defense is doing that, especially that defensive line with Will and Hunter, that means something to the offense. Like it's more where they're depending on you.
yeah. So staying in the AFC, of course, the Bills as well. They still have a chance at clinching their conference, their division. That would be pretty big for them to be able to host in Buffalo. No.
I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule. Their next game is against Philly. Philly in the last 2 weeks have looked like a different team.
They have.
They have looked. I know. We've given them a lot of flock. We've talked about their offense, defense, all of this. Saquon the last 3 games, he's averaging 5.5 per carry. Jalen Hurts out there having his worst game I think ever against the Chargers. He has looked different. They have looked simply different. So I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm assuming you are picking the Eagles in that game against the Buffalo Bills.
I believe if I break it down, they have a better overall roster. Past 3 weeks, they're sitting one in rushing
I would
yards.
agree with that, and especially the emergence of
one
AJ
in all
Brown.
offense in the past 3 weeks, basically.
And I think we finally are seeing AJ Brown get integrated in that offense, so I can see
Right.
why.
It will be a good game because the Bills obviously do
Yeah.
have a very decent chance, a very good chance. I mean, you're 11-4 for a reason. Obviously, you won some games in a row also, so it won't be like that. But I fairly possibly winning like 23-20, close game, 23-20.
Okay.
Obviously, the last game with the Browns, it tells you some stuff.
Like I said, I want to stay in the AFC. I want to switch conferences though.
Yeah.
I want to take our talents to the AFC North.
Yeah.
Where we have the Steelers and the Baltimore
Steelers,
Baltimore Ravens still fighting for a playoff chance. If the Ravens are able to win these two, let's say the Steelers drop a game.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins that final game to basically win your division and be fourth?
I want to say the Ravens, only because they did look good against the Patriots. That last 8 minutes, they crumbled. It's like their team is so one-sided every game, and you don't know which side it'll be. Their offense can play really good, and then their defense will let everything go.
It is, and I think they're very inconsistent. I mean, you saw it in the last, I believe, 8 minutes and 50 seconds of the game. Derrick Henry didn't get a carry.
A carry?
A carry.
You don't give him a carry?
And he did have a fumble, but he was also having a very good game.
He's had fumbles all season.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. Deal with it, but
it hurts. But when he still has a good game,
absolutely,
you don't give him one carry after that. You don't give him one carry.
And I think that's the problem. That's why I actually have to give it to the Steelers.
I give it to the Steelers, and I think because we're talking about the two teams. I have a question about the Ravens. Is it time for Harbaugh to get out of the coaching position?
How awesome would it be if there was an they both got fired. Tomlin went to the Ravens. And then Harbaugh went to the Steelers.
That would be like an alternate universe, first of all. I don't think that would ever happen.
I'm just saying. I think Harbaugh, obviously they've gotten drilled by injuries this year. Defense, I mean, that's why their defense, for the most part, was
by
atrocious.
injuries, but you don't think he could have done more? And
with
not
Lamar,
just this year.
Your
not
offense
just
is built
this year.
around Lamar. To not have Lamar for most of the games, yeah.
Huh?
I mean, the fact that they're still floating for a playoff spot right now is still impressive.
They're floating in a playoff spot because they're sitting with another two teams that are the Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
That's true.
That is the only reason that they are still somehow in the race.
That's true.
If you look at the NFC side, that's not the conversation.
Of course, but that's the whole different side of it. I'm just saying the fact that Harbaugh was able to keep them afloat.
Yeah,
you have to give that man his respect. And you've been a winning franchise with him.
I don't know.
I wouldn't fire him.
If I'm a Ravens fan, I don't know. Do you think it's more like the fans that want him gone, or is it even like the front office that also wants possibly a new change?
It's just the fans. The fans are. It's simply just the fans. I have no idea if the front. I don't think
front office thinks that it's time.
I don't see why. Who's better out there? Exactly.
We said the same thing for Tomlin. Who's better out there for Mike Tomlin?
John Harbaugh, if available.
So you think that they would actually swap?
Just saying. But the right amount of money? I don't see why not.
I don't see that, y'all. That ain't
it. Crazy.
I don't know, because the Ravens. Let's think about this. They're going against the Packers this upcoming game. Obviously, both have just choked fourth quarter leads in their last games.
Yep.
Both are obviously going with a game where their QBs both are injured. We don't know what's going on with Jordan Love. We don't know what's going on with Lamar Jackson. We don't even know if they're playing.
No.
This is going to bring in more conversations. It will simply bring in more talks.
Yeah, and this game, this is going to be a big game for both teams.
Yeah.
I think where we go into this game.
Who has a better backup, though? The Packers.
Who has a better backup? Yeah.
Malik Willis, in every game that he does, he's a backup. He does something impressive.
He does. And I think LaFleur has him playing within the offense as well, not making it too difficult for him. And he's a great athlete. At the end of the day, good coaching.
Who's coach of the year?
Ben Johnson. But it's staying in the game, obviously. I think Malik is better simply because of coaching. Like Tyler Huntley is no scrub backup. he's a Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl backup.
He's a Pro Bowl backup. So it's going to be an interesting game.
It will.
I do think the Packers will sneak this one out, just simply because I think they have a more consistent form of the run game. And I think they're just more creative. Like, I feel like now we know what to expect from
Now,
the
what if the Ravens
offense.
win?
What happened?
What if the Ravens win?
Then that's a huge win.
'Cause
And potentially if the Steelers
Say,
lose, it's interesting.
because obviously TJ Watt, he's out his next game. You do have some injuries over on the Steelers side. Obviously,
Yo.
the Browns are coming off a close loss to the Bills, 23-20. What if the Steelers lose that game and the Ravens win their game? That's huge. That's
it would
huge.
be massive.
That's huge.
But we'll obviously talk about the Ravens a little bit. I want to talk about the other game today.
What's up?
I want to talk about the Texans and the Chargers.
Yeah,
That's
a
a
big game.
pretty important game
Pretty big
for
game.
many teams.
Yeah.
It's important for the Texans to stay afloat because they can still potentially win their division, obviously, and just seeding in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's just important to just have the highest seeding possible.
This is
looking
a
at-
tough game.
Yeah, I'm looking at the game,
It's-
and it's so tough because what's at stake here is if the Chargers lose, they will no longer have a chance to
That's
clinch the
thing.
AFC West.
I do not believe that the Chargers will win this game. I think when we look at the Chargers, we're pretty impressed because of what they're doing with all their injuries.
Yes,
But they're adding up very fast. Since week 11, you're 18th in the league in offense.
they are. And in my opinion, obviously they played Denver. They beat Denver in week 2, week
Yeah.
3, I believe.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert was sacked 6 times.
Then guy has another game where he was sacked.
And that's with a
Sometimes.
healthier offensive line than what it is now.
Exactly.
I just only fear it's going to get worse to play a Texans defense like this.
Because, mind you, you are on a 4-game win streak. But you look at those 3 teams that they beat in the 4-game win streak, they're not even above 500.
Yeah.
Like it's some flaws I believe will be shown if they go into the playoffs like that.
But if they do win, let's say the
They
Chargers
do
do
win.
win, then it sets up another game that I really want to talk about that is in week 18.
Okay.
If the Chargers win, they will play the Denver Broncos, to be determined, probably will be a primetime game
Right.
in what could be a battle for the number 1 seed
Which
in
will be
football.
a pretty big game.
Or not even that, just the AFC title. First of all, that's the AFC title
Yeah,
game.
the
AFC West
match.
title game. Who wins that game?
Broncos.
Whoa, after losing
Broncos.
to the Chargers already this year?
Broncos.
Okay.
No way. The Chargers team is so broken. It's so broken. How is
They're
it
not bad, though. They're still
They're
cooking.
not bad. Their team is, like I said, it's broken. Their offensive line is. Yeah, you have barely any starters. What do you have? 1 or 2 starters that's playing right now? Justin Herbert, every game, it seems like he just goes through hell. Like it's over with. The Broncos defense, they will tap in. I know they had a couple of fluky games a little bit, but they will come back and they will be able to win that game. Especially after already giving them a game this season. No way. They let it go again. No way. Broncos fan, I don't like your answer. I feel like you believe the Chargers are actually going to beat you guys.
No, it's going to be a closer game than you think. You said
Broncos only beat the
Broncos.
Chiefs by a touchdown, and now you think that the Chargers.
No, I just listen. The Chargers are still explosive on
They
offense.
are.
I think Denver still obviously at home has the better likelihood to win. But if the Chargers were to beat the Broncos, I wouldn't be surprised. It's not something that would surprise me.
Did that Jaguars game hurt you? Like did it show you something?
No, but ever since the Broncos bye week, about 5 weeks ago, their defense is no longer
Defense is
top
no longer-
defense.
Yeah.
They're allowing almost 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Since the bye week.
But the offense has somewhat slowly creeped up.
It has for sure, and that's what's keeping them afloat. You get that 4 touchdown game from Bo Nix against the Packers. It's just, is that Bo Nix and the defense before the bye going to show up in the playoffs? Or what team is it going to be?
I think they'll be able to piece it up. They will be able to piece it up over there for Denver.
And I
I
think
think so.
especially if they can get the first seed, they can beat the Chargers.
Yeah.
And the playoffs has to go through Mile High. I think it adds a more interesting element to, dang, Broncos don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Defense, could they potentially get J.K. Dobbins back, which is what we're kind of hearing in the rumor mill if they get the first round bye?
I say first round bye. He comes back. You give him the extra week. He could possibly come back and cause havoc.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the Broncos are an interesting team right now. I think they're also a little banged up too, but so is every team.
So is every team heading into Week 17 of football.
Absolutely.
I do want to move on a little bit. Let's actually
Of
talk
course.
about some games that's happening.
Absolutely.
I want to move over actually to the NFC. I know we started on the AFC. I want to talk about the first game with Seattle versus the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers, I mean, in the last month, I'd say the last 3 games, Bryce Young has looked like a complete Pro Bowler. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You got the running game going. The only thing is that you're playing Seattle Seahawks, team that is coming off of a huge.
The team that almost lost to
win.
Phillip Rivers recently.
Team almost lost to Phillip Rivers, but a team that also just beat the Los Angeles Rams after coming back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's very true. I think, to your point, Carolina's been an interesting team this year because they've won some big games. They obviously beat the Rams, which I think is their biggest win of the season. But Carolina is on top of the NFC South right now. They would, if it were to end right now, be the number 4 seed. And that is
It's insane.
it's insane.
insane.
I was gonna say that would be
Insane.
big, but then I have to be
think-
realistic and know that they would
when
lose.
we think about how the Buccaneers looked last year,
Yep.
that just sounds insane to say for right now. That's all.
It does, but I will say this about Tampa Bay. They have been riddled with injuries
Yeah.
very bad.
Very bad.
And
yeah, of course.
I think to finally, obviously, they're just now putting together their back together roster, getting Mike back, getting McMillan back.
Yeah.
To get those guys back, it's big. I think it's just going to take a little more time for them to mesh. They can win the next 2 games, sneak into the playoffs. I actually think Tampa can be a sneaky, dangerous team to maybe shake up the NFC playoff picture when it comes to playoff time.
I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in it no more.
Really?
I tried. I mean, you gotta believe they set 5-1 at a point this season. 5-1. I get injuries.
They
I
did
get
it,
the
and I
injuries.
believe
I
if
get
they
the
can just get a
injuries.
little more healthy and just get that
Not
cohesion
even
back,
that.
they'll be good.
Do you know who hasn't really been injured? Baker Mayfield.
He hasn't.
When
Hasn't
the
had his
players
weapons, though.
when the players have came back in the past week or two, it still looks like the same radio from the past 5 weeks. Same thing.
That's fair, and that's actually pretty fair to
Now,
say. But
go ahead.
I still think they're gonna come back. They're gonna shake it off.
They can. I want to go back to the Seattle game. Does Seattle win this game
Yeah.
after only winning their
hands down.
last 2 games by 3 points combined?
Oh, hands down. I think that's why I kind of just brushed Carolina off, especially
After
when I
a
said that they're
season
in the
high
NFC.
92 defensive snaps, they're tired.
I'm telling you right now, Seahawks will make a statement. They're gonna have a statement win.
Statement win.
And even I don't even want to say a statement win because I think they should beat Carolina pretty handily.
Yeah.
But it just if they don't, then there's some cause for concern because if Seattle doesn't win, it's almost gonna be for sure a Sam Darnold problem.
It would have to be. I'm pretty
Sam
sure.
Darnold's not gonna blow the smoke
It
off
won't
the
be
roof.
the defense.
Exactly. So it's going to be really uncomfortable with them going in the playoffs with like a loss. Because then after, they have to play the 49ers. And if you lose that game, if you lose against Carolina,
both games,
you're then fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
So if the pressure gets to Sam Darnold in this game, the 49ers game is one you're going to want to circle on your calendar going into the last week of football.
That's true. I just think that this game, after seeing his team have his back, after he had those picks, I don't think we will see another bad game like that for the rest of the season. I'm being real. Unless he does have a bad game in the playoffs. I do want to move on. We have a 425 game that I am pretty excited about. Eagles versus the Bills.
We did talk about it a little bit.
Talked about it a little bit, but be honest. Can the Bills actually get this game and complete their road to
the Bills can
possible
absolutely get this game. I mean, we've seen the Broncos get this game.
That is very true.
We've seen Dallas get this game. We've seen like we're talking about like teams that have one side of the ball that's really lopsided win the game. It just depends what Eagles team you're going to get. If you get a full package, we're going to run the ball. We're going to throw it to our 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers. Oh, Goddard's in the red zone. Then no, the Bills will lose. Just because the Eagles have that championship pedigree and understand what they have to do.
That's fair.
But don't be surprised if Josh Allen comes out and smokes that defense and the Bills are victorious.
MVP, Josh Allen. All right, moving on. Bears versus the 49ers for 8-20 game. How do you feel about that?
That's an awesome game.
That's an awesome game.
I love, you know what? And I think it's just great. The best feeling in the world is when your team wins on Sunday evening,
not
and then
just
you have a
wins.
great game.
Not just wins. They win big, and then you have that game after.
You have a Sunday night football game that's just, I mean,
I mean,
that
you look
explosive
at both
offense.
of these teams. They're hot.
Yeah.
Both these teams are hot. I want to go over Chicago first. DJ Moore, well, first of all, Caleb Williams with the I don't know about throw of the year, but to close out a game like that in overtime.
Yep.
Generational. DJ Moore, generational.
It was generational, and I remember after we filmed the podcast last week, we kind of talked about the game a little bit. We were able to watch it, and when we saw him throw that Hail Mary, because I remember we saw it together. When we saw him throw that ball to DJ Moore, that cemented something.
I thought DJ Moore had died after the play, man. Hey, bro, just know he caught that ball. That was
for
a crazy ending to a crazy game. Because you want to know what?
And you can just tell how close that team is with Ben Johnson at the
Very
helm now.
close, yeah. I mean, because they
them.
got their chain back. We said this last week, and I thought they were going to actually win outright. I didn't know it was going to be like that. But for them to come back and get their chain back with overtime, that was big. That was huge.
And for both teams, I think this is just who's going to be more serious in the playoffs type of game.
Yeah.
Because this is like a matchup.
It is.
This
but
is a matchup.
Chicago does have the extra rest a little bit. 49ers, they are hot, but their wins are also against the Colts, Arizona, Cleveland. Like it, their recent wins are some off, but they do have a realm kind of coming up, obviously, with this game, and then next week you are, like you said, playing Seattle. So you are getting ready for some games.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the people that have off Tuesday because Monday Night Football is Rams Falcons. Horrible game, in my opinion. I think the Rams should win that one handily.
Hey, you know what? Rams should begin this game. Pitt's been looking like apparently a top tight end fantasy, man. Pitt's apparently is top 2 in fantasy tight end.
Of course, when I drop him, he decides he wants to be great. But last thing I feel like we should talk about, and the most important thing is, has our Super Bowl picks changed?
I feel like my Super Bowl pick has changed a lot. What was my pick last time? It was the Broncos and the Rams, correct?
Absolutely.
I'm taking the Rams went all the way down to 6. I don't want to give it to Seattle either. I don't know if I fully trust Seattle.
I like the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles as my Super Bowl picks.
So week 17 will be your Super Bowl pick. Wow. I'm going to take the Patriots versus the LA Rams in the Super Bowl.
I like that.
With the Rams taking a dub.
I think Josh Allen finally moves the needle.
Josh Allen should. I feel like this is the year where he doesn't, because that's the thing. Every year, Josh Allen always has to play that quarterback. He always has to play Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Where will they be at this year? Is this Josh Allen's year to go to Super Bowl? Is it Super Bowl or bust?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it's Super Bowl or bust.
Every year he's had to go through the gauntlet.
It is.
He's had to go through the gauntlet every year.
And this is the one year where he won't have to.
This is his year.
That's what I'm saying. This could be this, in my opinion, because I think the Eagles are still the most complete team. And when it comes to
Eagles
playoff
are not
times,
going back to the Super Bowl. It would have to be Josh Allen against Seattle or the Rams. I'm sorry, Chicago fans, please don't get mad, but it would have to be one of those teams.
Do you believe Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL?
With the injuries, yes.
That's fair.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar's out.
That's
who
very
else?
fair.
I mean, who else? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's also dealing with his own injuries. I mean, you do have Matthew Stafford on this side.
Very true.
But Matthew Stafford can't run like Josh Allen. Matthew Stafford is good.
Not Josh Allen. He's not the MVP who's dealing with injuries. I actually want to stay with MVPs dealing with injuries on their team, and I think it's only fair that we move on to ball.
The MVP.
And Nikola Jokić
MVP.
And the Denver Nuggets with injuries decimating their roster. Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, Cam Johnson now. They're winning. Jokic dropping 56.
Nikola Jokić is top 5 of all time.
I think he's top 3 of all time.
I'll go better now.
I think he's 3 right now.
Can I read this off? 20-point triple-double, 30-point triple-double, 40-point triple-double, 50-point triple-double. Shit, maybe even a 60-point triple-double. All against the same team of Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
If there's one team that has nightmares about that man, except for Lakers fans, it's got to be Minnesota. It has to be.
It has to be. And here's the thing. I truly believe he is a top 3 talent-wise player of all time in the NBA. He's number 3.
If you talk about sheer talent, pure talent,
Not to say it's LeBron, Mike, and Jokic. And that's not.
Is that being crazy?
That's
I
not even.
I feel like we make it flame, but is that really being crazy? But Kobe, this
talent-wise, no.
Kobe's another Jordan. Nikola Jokic is a center. Let alone what other centers even in the top.
Jokic at his position at power forward would have won more chips with Shaq than they won.
If Jokic had a Kobe Bryant, could you imagine that? He does with Jamal Murray. Could you imagine if he had a Kobe Bryant?
That's what I'm saying. I truly believe that he's top 3. It's Bron, Jordan, Jokic. That's
Just
the top
pure
3
talent.
Right pure talent. Yeah, so it has to be that list. It has to be that way. Kobe's my 4.
Pure talent. Pure talent. If that's what I'm saying, because I feel like that's different from your goal list, right? Of pure talent.
Kobe,
you're
like
talking about your goal list. Because if you were going with pure talent, you would have to put like a lot of players up in like pure talent that you wouldn't in your goal list. KD would be in your top 10. Steph Curry would be in your top 10 of pure talent.
Steph is in my top 10 regardless.
Oh, regardless. I mean, yeah, but we're talking about pure talent. He would have to be like in almost your top 5.
I don't know, but all I know is I'm putting Jokic
in top
3.
I mean,
and obviously they're sitting pretty in the West.
They are,
now
but now I do want to lead this into a question, which I know this will lead into a big jump off. Are they the top team in the Western Conference, or is there still another team that's actually out there with them right now?
No, I think San Antonio's still better, and I still think OKC now, just because they're not injured, it's still a better team than the Denver Nuggets. I'll say this: Denver's gonna kind of have to really lock in right now, especially with those injuries to Cam Johnson. Obviously, you're gonna get Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon back at some point.
Yeah, but you need him back now.
They need to stay afloat. It was a good win. It was a great win, great heroic effort by Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray to win them that game in overtime.
The duo game, yeah.
That ain't it. That's not how you do it consistently.
Because you can't. I don't think I understand. For them, that the way that offense is dependent on solely those 2 players. Obviously, Nikola a little bit more, but Jamal, they were depending on 2 players. That's it. Like you said, you can't do that all year round, especially on the playoffs.
And Hadelman is trying not to play them as much. Like he's trying to keep them fresh, but it's hard.
It is.
You can't. Like you can't. When both of them are off the floor, their plus minus like plummets. Like I've never seen. When I've seen two like star players come out the game, I've never seen it plummet like how Denver Nuggets does. Now, obviously, it's gotten a little better with their bench, but now they're not even healthy on their starting lineup.
I do. I want to move on.
Yeah.
A team that has an 8-game win streak. We talked about them a little bit in the intro. San Antonio Spurs. They're coming off obviously a huge
win. Huge back-to-back wins.
Back-to-backs. Obviously, that's sitting with OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. No hard feelings. What does this really actually mean for them to actually now be 3-0?
San Antonio's absolutely ready. I think they're ready for the. I don't want to sound cheesy, but like Wemby said, they're ready for the moment. I think when they go play Oklahoma City in the playoffs, if this is the 2 teams that are playing right now, how they're playing, San Antonio beats OKC 4 or 5 games.
San Antonio sweeps the OKC Thunder.
I don't think so.
San Antonio sweeps the OKC Thunder. They figured them out. If De'Aaron Fox gives you at least 25, you get something off your bench. You may not need a Keldon Johnson 6-9 game every game to beat the OKC Thunder now. I think you figured it out in multiple different ways. I think they actually won in about 2 to 3 different ways.
I think obviously the question is always just going to be, is Wemby healthy? Can Wemby play a full game? We haven't.
That's the whole point. They're winning without him playing full games.
Exactly. I think the playoffs is a little bit of a different moment.
It is.
I like I said, I still think San Antonio would win, but I think there's more questions about San Antonio in the playoffs than we ask about OKC.
If he sees Oxtail Chet Holmgren on the other side, I think he's always ready for the moment because that's pure hatred that he has for that man. That is pure hatred.
But then I look at a team like Denver. Denver fully healthy That's a horrible matchup for
That's
the
a
Spurs.
horrible matchup for the Spurs. I don't know. That's the point. Actually, in a 7-game series, Denver beats the Spurs. 7-game series, the Spurs beat OKC.
They do. And
I think that OKC is better than the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah.
Yes. That's so weird. So it's so weird dynamic.
It's just matchups.
It's just a weird
It's
dynamic
simply
of
matchups.
That's all.
Because if the Timberwolves play, the Timberwolves. I mean,
Timberwolves can actually beat the.
Ant losing his temper that game, it really told me a lot.
No, I ain't gonna. And I don't know.
It told me that
watched last game.
It's told me that he'll never be in that.
I put out a
Jokic-
comment. I put out a comment. It got about 1,500 likes. I know I wasn't tripping. The rest were kind of weird in the last 2 to 3 minutes of that game. I know if you watched that, overtime was a great game against Minnesota versus Denver. Obviously, Jokic had his 50-point triple-double on Christmas. The refs made it about them in the last 2 minutes, and it screwed up the game.
I wouldn't.
It screwed up the game. To give them back-to-back techs, that was insane.
But
And
he
you know
was
it was
also doing some weird stuff.
The refs were doing weird stuff.
Yeah,
Denver was
okay.
getting away with weird stuff. For that game to go the way it went, if you watched it, the whole build-up of that game going to overtime, no way you do that at that point.
It was definitely an interesting official.
Good game though, very good game. I mean,
Yeah.
for that to be the last game of Christmas, that was a little present for itself.
And obviously the Timberwolves, they're coming off a one loss, but
Yeah.
20-11, 5th seed, they're starting to find their stride after early in the season. We were kind of questioning them a lot. And I think for them to, I want to say they're starting to make that push.
Yeah.
That's good for them. I think they're starting to heat up at a good time.
It is. I know we talked about the top 3, obviously. I want to go into the 4 through the 6. I know we'll probably get into a little bit of.
Speaking of a team that's cooling down, no,
I mean,
of
the
the Timberwolves.
the opposite. I mean, Los Angeles, they're still sitting at 4. I just don't know how long that's going to last for them. Obviously, JJ Redick, he went on the post conference and he let out his true feelings about the team.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if a coach is necessarily supposed to do. I think that was the player coming out of JJ because he was upset. They said the team was ass and they're going to have uncomfortable conversations on Saturday.
I mean, listen, they're 26th in rebounding. They're 26 in assists.
Yeah.
They allow some of the most points in the games.
The effort throughout the game is terrible.
I think obviously Luka's awesome. You're losing Austin Reeves for 4 weeks with a calf injury.
Marcus Smart, when he comes in, gives you nothing now.
This could potentially be a really rough run for the Lakers.
Stretch.
It could. I mean,
stretch.
I mean, obviously you play
3-game losing streak.
Then you play Sacramento, Detroit, Memphis twice.
Yeah.
Pelicans, okay. Then you've got to play the Spurs and Milwaukee.
You're saying the Pelicans, like, they wouldn't also give up that game. The Lakers are that team, like, where they can still be good and give up whatever game. It always just goes by effort. I don't know why that they're the only team that looks like they give out the most minimum little to none effort every game.
Yeah, and I mean, all of their losses are by double digit.
Like that's the thing. If they don't have like a huge like Luka game or somebody just actually is like going off, they're losing.
Yeah.
They don't have like games where they put it together as a team.
And I hate to say this, I feel like LeBron, them inserting LeBron back into the lineup, it kind of like threw them off a little bit because they were heated up. I'm not saying LeBron makes them worse by any stretch.
It threw
I'm
them
just
off simply by who has the ball percentage. Threw them off. That's it. LeBron himself did not throw off the Lakers. Ball percentage of who had the ball threw them off.
That's fair
enough. To move the ball more. That's it.
But their defense as well. I think their defense is so bad.
Like I said,
in a playoff series, I think they get swept.
Playoff series, they can get swept in a year for the past 3 years.
No, but I think it's almost like a certainty they get swept. Like, so let's say they stay. So are they staying around 4?
I think we still forget that. Like that, they still have Luka Don. Luka Don is playoff wise, he's so different. He's so different in the playoffs.
He is. Their defense is so bad.
It is really bad.
It's it's like Luka will score, they'll go right back and score on you.
Score right on.
So who does it really matter?
You always had to
like
score
when Luka
misses
a shot. When Luka misses a shot, it's almost like no.
Yeah,
because they're about to score on us.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. I don't know.
And I just think, and it's no disrespect to LeBron, the more he plays, the more 40-year-old man's gonna start to show a little bit, and we've already seen 40-year-old man a little bit.
To actually backtrack, he started off pretty slow, and he's
picked it up a little bit.
He's back to average in his 20s right now.
Understand.
He's back to averaging in his 20s.
I'm not
at
disrespecting
year
Bron. I'm just
23.
saying. Okay, I told you he's the GOAT. Chill out.
Just saying,
You're
bro. 'Cause
wild.
I get what you're saying. I think, like I said, I think it's the ball percentage. Who has the ball?
Well, who
Obviously, like
knows?
you said, Austin Reed's injury, it will all hurt.
If
it will
they
go on
are
a bad stretch.
If AR can come back, stay hot.
Because you want to know what?
then they're
Like I
okay.
said, the 3-game losing streak, you're still sitting 4th in the West, in the Western Conference. Minnesota's on the come up. Obviously, Houston's on the come up. Shit, everybody's based on the come up, but you still at least have that for the moment.
Here's my question about the Western Conference, though. Is this going to be the first? Is this going to be one of the few playoff years that we've had where Steph Curry's not in it?
Yeah, I mean, Steve Kerr, he said it in the post conference. Also, he said that this is the end of a dynasty. He said that you guys are seeing the fading dynasty go out, and it's true. Their team, same thing as the Lakers, they cannot stop anybody on defense.
Yeah.
They are someone where if they do not score, you have to look away because they will be scoring on the other side of the ball every time. No defense. Draymond Green is an actor with himself. He will get ejected every other game.
I think it's more their offense, man.
Think it's more their offense than the defense right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
Their
can't-
defense is terrible.
I
I'm
wouldn't say
sorry.
terrible. It's their offense isn't
Their
great.
pace is terrible.
Like if Steph's not hot, then they're relying on basically Buddy
Yeah.
maybe making some shots and pots. And Kuminga is having a turnover wise not the best year.
Kuminga's out, and of course another year, and we're saying it again. Kuminga's gone. Kuminga's gone.
When we
pretty
say that,
sure.
yeah, he should have been gone a long
Should
time
have been
ago.
gone
I
a
almost
long
think his value's dropping now.
It has already dropped. It's dropped every year. Like when he did, the reason why he somehow didn't get traded this offseason, it plundered him even more.
Very true.
Plundered him even more.
I want to talk about one more team in the West. It's a team that, in my opinion, they're on a 2-game win streak right now. They're kind of dangerous just with who they
Yeah.
got. I really like the Phoenix Suns.
I mean, Phoenix Suns, they're looking back to how they somewhat looked in 2021,
A
2022.
little bit. And
it's
good to see.
it's good to see because D-Book, I think he's taking that role again. I think D-Book is taking that real leadership. I think he had D-Book when KD came and all them other guys, he felt like he had a big brother. He had a big brother with CP3 or
Not even that.
He's-
I'm sorry. I
nah.
just like their team. You got guys
He's
like
bad.
Royce
It
O'Neal,
is.
Dylan Brooks,
Dylan Brooks, the
Grayson
villain.
Allen, Colin Giuseppe, Mark Williams.
What Dylan Brooks got going on, man?
Dylan Brooks is
Dylan
not playing.
Brooks
He's not
hooping,
having a
man.
bad year.
Dylan Brooks, who man? What Dylan Brooks got going on, man? He stared people down. He hooping. He stared down my goal and then dropped 25.
And that's always Dylan Brooks is always a wild card to have on your team.
He is, but to stare down my goal and then drop 25, 0 and 0. He had an MPJ game against LeBron. Come on,
That's wild.
come on, man. That was his idol, man.
And then Jalen Green obviously hurt, not playing that much.
Right?
I wonder what he could do. I wonder if he would actually
Does it
hurt
affect
them.
it? That's what I'm saying. Does he affect it?
I actually think he might hurt the
Well,
team. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
I
Jalen
don't
Green
know.
like coming back to the roster hurts them. Actually, if you could, no, you can't
I
trade
don't
him.
know. I don't know if that hurts him. I want to see how that actually looks. I don't think that actually hurts him.
I think it does.
That can help.
Really,
That can help. D-Book slowly
An-
can
an
start playing the
inefficient
PG
shooter?
role.
an inefficient shooter in an offense that's already kind of more 3-point
But that's the
heavy.
thing. I think that him coming off an injury, he will let them work himself in. He won't be taking the same shots that he was taking 2-3 years ago. Simple. I believe so.
It's fair
You
enough.
don't think that D-Book has trained him on anything? Who was his vet in Houston? Like a guard vet. That was D-Book.
Huh?
Nobody.
That's-
The man
that's
has
true.
D-Book. Man has D-Book now. He's watched him for the past 2 months basically. We'll see what he can do.
We'll see. I think it'll definitely be interesting. I just think with a team like Phoenix that really relies on hot
Yeah.
shooting and great defense, I think Jalen Green could affect that.
Yeah.
Last question:
Go ahead.
11 through 15. Can any of
Here
those
we go.
teams make a play and push?
You know what? I want to talk about Dallas, but you know what? Because this is gonna obviously jump into the East. Utah Jazz are just looking different. Keontae George
Wow.
has a candidate in me for most improved player
I like
of
that.
the year. The man hit a game winner last night. I mean, and it was beautiful.
It
I mean,
was.
a game winner. He had about 31. Their team is starting to piece up a little something. I'm not saying anything crazy.
No, I know. I totally
They're
understand.
piecing up a little something.
They do.
And you want to know who they beat? The number one team in the Eastern
They
Conference.
did. They beat the Detroit Pistons.
The team,
Deontay, big game.
big game.
Big
Big game. Because you
shot.
want to know what? Cade had a huge game too.
Cade had 17 assists.
Cade had 29 and 17.
Yeah.
He had a huge game. And for them to still get that game over them, that was big. We can move over to the East a little bit, though, because obviously
That's how great the West is.
Yeah.
That the number 12 can just dog wipe.
We're talking about that. I mean, Coop just had 30. What he had 33, 9 and 9.
Yep.
They're not bad. LA Clippers, blah blah blah. But they're on a 3-game win streak.
They're not good.
They're on a 3-game win streak. They're not good, but they also are winning games also.
But obviously, you brought up Detroit Pistons. I think it's only fair we move on to the Eastern Conference. Let's start with Detroit. They obviously took a loss, but they are 24-7. They are still the number 1 seed. With the Cade of play, with the play of Cade recently, and him being so efficient, getting the ball to his teammates, playing good defense, can this team make a deep playoff push?
Easily. Like, this team is fighting for an Eastern Conference final spot right here. Like, the only team I see that's really super competing with them is New York. I don't know how far Boston can go with the injuries in the playoffs. I know they're winning games now. In the playoffs, that does get a little scary when you have to play the same team again 7 times. Like that. That's different. That's a different ball game. Toronto, I don't know how much hope I have in them. I really believe that it's New York and Detroit that will be fighting in that Eastern Conference final spot, and that will be huge. Because what happens if Cade just gets hot? Cade has that tendency to simply just get hot. When he gets hot, his whole team gets hot. He knows how to carry a team. He's a vet. What happens then? Cade, Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Drops a 40 ball. Game 2.
Let's hope they don't have to play like Cleveland in the first round or something like that. That would just be rough.
Yeah.
All right. That
going on to the
dark.
number 2 team, New York Knicks. I would say a 1-game win streak. They did have another loss before that, but 21-9.
They are. They're a really good team. That really got you. They are 21-9.
Rough Christmas for me over here, man. Rough Christmas.
They're obviously 21-9. I think their team's good. They're coming. I think they're starting to heat up, getting into playoff form. We're not even close playoffs yet, but they're starting to get into playoff form.
They're looking like it though. Because it's when their bench is actually starting to play good. Jordan Clarkson.
But you know what? I like Boston better. I like Boston better right now. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Jaylen Brown.
Who would be guarding? Not okay. So nice. Jaylen Brown is really good. Who is guarding Cat, Mikal, or OG? Now you do have Jordan Walsh. Now once again, who's guarding the other 2?
That's true. That's very true.
And then you have on the bench Peyton Pritchard, who's going to be.
I just think it's
Jordan
crazy
Clarkson,
that if Boston if Boston can stay within the top 4,
it's crazy.
And Jason Tatum comes back.
14th.
And Jason Tatum comes back. Okay, it's interesting.
Interesting with 75% Jason Tatum, because he's gonna rush regardless. You know this. It's gonna be 75% Jason Tatum. Yeah.
Yeah. If he does play,
No, we know. Like the way that he's doing it, he's rushing into it regardless. All of them are. Tyrese, Jason Tatum, they're all rushing into it at this point. He's gonna come back at 80% at best. That's enough to go beat New York or Detroit.
Yes, I actually do think so. Maybe New York would be. I actually think New York would be tougher than Detroit just because of experience.
That's good. Well, New York's tougher than Detroit right now, regardless. Like if they play in a playoff series, that's like I said, it's going to be Detroit versus New York, and I think it will take a couple of 40 burgers from Cade to win that series. I believe so. Their team is good. Don't get it twisted. Team is defensively good. Team is team. They aggressive.
Yeah.
Against the Knicks, I don't know.
Who would your sneaky team be in the Eastern Conference?
Sneaky team is going to be Orlando Magic. And you want to know why? Because they're starting to figure out ways to win games without their key players. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird only because Desmond Bane seems like he gets his spotlight when either P5 or Paolo Banchero's out or Franz Wagner, who obviously injured.
Yeah.
When one of those 2 players are out, their team always looks better. And I don't know how to explain it. I think it's just them both being ball dominant players. It somewhat affects that team's offensive side a little bit. Defensive, it obviously helps,
And
but the
Anthony Black,
offense,
what a
he's getting
what
opportunities
a
because of
guy.
why. Exactly. He doesn't get those same opportunities if they're not. There's more bench rotation players when he's not.
Yeah, and I think like the ascent and Desmond Bain. I mean, keep in
That's
mind
what
that
we're
roster is
saying.
so
Balling.
good.
Why? That's what we are saying. That wasn't happening when everybody was playing.
Yep.
It seems like we said when either Paolo's out or Franz is out, that offense clicks a little bit better.
So Paolo, let's say Paolo leads them obviously within the top 6.
Yeah.
You're saying they have a chance to beat basically anybody above them?
I don't know about anybody above them. Do I believe that they can beat Boston, Toronto, or Philly? Yes. I don't know if they beat Detroit or the Knicks. Those are I feel like that's the tier above for the East. New York and Detroit are somewhat in like a tier above all those other teams, not just from the record.
Fair enough. And I do want to talk about another team in the East.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, they were the number 1 seed last year.
Yeah.
As it stands, they are the number 7 seed. Only 1 game back of the 6th seed. Can the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I feel like we ask this every podcast, but it's only fair to give them that respect because they were the number 1 last year.
I appreciate that, yeah.
Can this team finish a top 4 seed?
You look at the teams that are right here: Toronto, Philly, and Orlando. Toronto, Philly, Orlando. Yes. Yes. I know that may be a biased answer.
No, not
Simply
at all.
just too much time. That goes for any team. I mean, it's not just for the Cavs. That goes for any team in the whole NBA. We are still about a month and a half away from All-Star Week. You know how much time we have left in the season? We basically have everything left. Everything is still left in the season.
That is very true. I think they will. I think it's going to take a little more till later on in the season because their schedule for the next week is brutal.
You know the little stretch. I think we'll start from like our Warriors game back in the beginning of December. That was supposed to be like a good stretch.
This is
because
bad.
now it's bad.
This is really bad.
Like really bad.
It's Houston, San Antonio, Phoenix, Denver, Detroit. You get a little break with Indiana, and then Minnesota. Twice.
Yeah, I say twice. We played them twice in a row. Yeah.
That is
After that,
a brutal stretch.
we will be sitting at about, hopefully about what, maybe 21 and 21, maybe at 500. Not even 500. You think we're gonna be below 500?
Yeah. And I think
we're not a good team right now, man. Lights are too bright for some people. We're trying to solo squads with Donovan Mitchell.
Could you see Darius Garland being on the move this year?
I don't know. I could see Jared Allen being on the move. I just don't know who wants him. Who would want that?
Nobody would want him.
Who wants that?
Nobody would want. Would you
and
trade?
What do we get back for Darius Garland? That's an all-star. That was an all-star last year. That's still dealing with injuries. That's still
Darius Garland for Norman Powell.
No, not even a good trade.
No, Darius Garland for Zach LaVine.
No, terrible trade. Darius Garland for John Morant. That's what I start thinking about.
Oh my God, I just don't think that that would be an interesting trade. Darius Garland to Memphis would be kind of intriguing.
Memphis has been over John Morant for the past year and a half. They can't say it. Obviously, when he has his good games, so they still get a little bit of memory from 2022. But they are done with John Morant. They went out. They went out. They're tired of the fantasy that he kind of has going on with Memphis. I think they're done with it, and that could be the trade. That is something where I would consider. Now, both Ja and Donovan Mitchell running into the lane almost every other play. That's an injury waiting to happen. But
yeah,
I don't know. Cause I'm saying you're moving on from a true point guard. Who's another true point guard like Darius Garland right now that you can trade for? That was all-star. 2-time all-star, recent.
That's up for a trade. No, you can't.
So you have to go into a different point guard base, a different type of positional point guard.
That is true. Migdon point guard.
Our whole offense would be changing from that trade.
And maybe that's what that team needs right now.
It could be.
It could be. But to your point, I think Jared Allen is hindering them more than DG is, at least right now. And
Jared Allen is, and I don't understand how an injured Evan Mobley is better than a fully healthy Jared Allen in the paint. I was talking to somebody about this also. They were like saying, because I was like, I'm ready for us to move on from Jared Allen. He was like, who would you even go for? That's better than I said anybody. You can even go if I Hard is open next year. See if you can get him for the defensive calls. We don't need him to score buckets. We're not there for his floaters. We can do that. We just need a board. Not even a board. The effort to be physical to go get a board.
Mhm.
Just get in the way. Just get in the way at that point. We just need somebody else. That's it.
That's fair
I
enough.
don't know if it's the point guard problem.
Who's going to the finals on the Eastern Conference?
Finals will be the New York Knicks. It is now their year. New York Knicks finally, with all the injuries, which I thought was going to be my Cavs in the position. I think it's New York that will finally actually feed off all the injuries that has happened in the East this year.
So are you
They will
saying
be
that we're
pushing.
going to get an NBA Cup rematch in the finals?
You know what? Nah. Nuggets are going back to the finals, man.
Wow.
Nuggets are going back to the finals, man. I believe. That's the thing. I know we just talked about it. Do the Nuggets beat OKC?
No. OKC plays genuinely just so much faster than them. There's just
The
a really
full
big
bench coming back. Aaron Gordon, Cam
Mind you,
Johnson,
This
Tim
OKC team
Hardaway,
hasn't been healthy.
Bruce Brown, Jamal Murray, Jokic,
That OKC team has not been
Braun
healthy at all.
coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets beat OKC and the Spurs with that full team healthy. Going into the playoffs with a healthy squad. Jokic playing like this. Jamal Murray's actually in a little efficient.
It would be interesting.
I'm sorry that I'm not the biggest OKC fan right now, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all good. Give me the New York Knicks and the Oklahoma City Thunder going to the NBA Finals. I don't know. I think just for now, I have to stick with OKC just because of the resume that they have at hand right now. They're the defending champs. They have the best record. Slipped up through 2 games in a row. Obviously, big games. But I still have to give them that respect until I see something a little more concerning. If they lose, man, if they go on like a little 5-game losing streak, 4-game losing streak, that's cause for concern. But right now, they're still the best team. Where after 2 losses, two losses in a row, they're still the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
By 2.5 games.
I agree. I think we went over everything. What other ball you got to talk about, man? You got other ball to talk about?
My Broncos are going to the Super Bowl.
Stop it. I do want to give a little. What are we doing on Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday? Are we bringing the webcam videos out?
We could potentially be bringing the webcam videos. Y'all stay tuned for that. For clips, obviously game previews, and talk about game highlights as
That's
well.
what I'm saying. We got to talk about the games after it happened. I know y'all get Saturday ball, but we need to talk about the things that happen after. So be on the lookout for that.
Thank you for watching the GetBack Podcast.
GetBack Podcast. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching.
Peace.